To this day.
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 From Australia, 31 years of age, 6 feet 5 inches tall or 5.5, who'd already lost to Justice Hooney a few fights back, another Australian heavyweight. So yeah, this was expected to be a comeback fight really for Stefan Shaw, who does have some slickness about him, who does have some ability. Now, I didn't see the whole fight, but I did see the finish, and it's one of the most curious finishes I've seen in a heavyweight bout for a long time. Stefan Shaw was dropped twice, and you can see the highlights of this on the Top Rank Boxing YouTube channel. Now, for the first knockdown, Stefan Shaw literally stands there like a statue and allows Joe Goodall to tee off on him. It's not as if Stefan Shaw gets hurt and then he's frozen in time and then Goodall comes in and tees off. No, Stefan Shaw's not hurt. He just stands there, the guy hits him with one punch, and you can see that Stefan Shaw is still completely lucid. Hits him with another, hits him with another, hits him with like 3-4 punches, and eventually Stefan Shaw goes down, kind of crumples to the canvas. But even when he crumples to the canvas, he's not like out of it or anything like that. You can see in his eyes and in his movements, he's still totally lucid, gets up, and he does the same thing again, allows the guy to tee off on him. Now, you guys know that very rarely will I call a fight fixed or say somebody took a dive or anything like that. Very, very rarely. In most instances, from what I've seen, when fans are saying that somebody took a dive, nothing of the sort has happened in my view. But in this particular instance, I'm definitely left wondering. That's all I can say. I'm not making any accusations here, but I'm definitely left wondering. Does Stefan Shaw have debts? Does he have money problems? Would there be some type of motive for him to take a dive in this fight? Because I can't understand why a man would just stand there and let his opponent tee off on him like that. It wasn't bravado. You know, like back in the days when Ricardo Mayorga used to fight, when he was fighting Felix Trinidad and a bunch of other people, and he'd stand there and let people tee off on him as a way of trying to break them down psychologically, to show them that you can't hurt me. Obviously, it backfired against T.O. Trinidad. But this wasn't that with Stefan Shaw, at least not from what I saw in the fight highlight video. Again, I'm not coming to any conclusions here. I'm just saying it was very strange.
Okay, that is a video by Hatman Strikes Back, which was over a year ago. Well, no, actually, that was in 2023 in July on the 25th. And Stefan Shaw loses to Joe Goodall in a strange circumstance. And what he's trying to say is that normally he doesn't make conspiracy theories or fixed fights or people throwing fights. But, of course, at some times you do have exceptions. Shout out to Hatman Boxing. That's one of the channels I listen to mostly on the reg when I do listen to anyone. It's Hatman. Good informative channel, you know, knowledgeable of, you know, what he's talking about and his beliefs of boxing. And I saw that, and, you know, now looking at what we all know, Stefan Shaw was offered a particular fight with Deontay Wilder. Well, we know damn sure as well hell that Malik Scott has done the similar things to Deontay Wilder in the career. So Deontay Wilder, you know, is familiar with that. So is Stefan Shaw. If he did have debt, he did that for a reason. Boxing is a very dirty sport. I think at the moment of him coming off his first loss, I think he was left with an opportunity to fold or crumble against someone from Australia. That it took his first loss as well. And I think, you know, whoever's going to go to wherever limit or level, you know, some money was introduced, and that's what happened. You know, and I know what he meant by Ricardo Mayorga. That was bravado. That was just him trying to say that, hey, these fighters can't hurt me. But in this case, he gets hit with shots like that. And, you know, then he crumbles. But even when he crumbles, it's not like a Amir Khan knockout or how what's my man, the Nordic Nightmare, Hellenius did when he got knocked out. It was nothing like that. This was him simply taking punches until he went down, and that's simply that guy throwing the fight. For whatever reward he did it for, that's his own business with who he made that deal with. Okay? But based on that, now I have to retract me counterpunching this video and seeing what I saw on the 25th of July against Goodall and Shaw. I would say that would have been a very good fight. I don't think that this is what I think that happened. I think what happened in that situation now, if we speculating only, I think allegedly the money that was introduced for him to take a fall because it makes more sense for Wilder to win because there's more money that Wilder should make. And I think what happens in those situations, the fighter that is offered the bribe is not the fighter that's showcased. Neither will he ever be anywhere near a prospect or just a contender. He'll never go as far as the person sending the money offer versus the person receiving it. Okay. And I think that's what that was. And he might have asked for too much money. You know what I mean? Just looking at what we're looking at now and seeing that weird performance with Goodall and Shaw. And then he was offered the fight. He probably was offered the fight. And I think he had probably asked for, maybe $300,000-400,000 to take that Kaepernick. That Colin Kaepernick. Maybe he asked for too much money. Maybe he overshot himself and they're like, nah, we're going to go to Curtis Harper. And we know he knows how to quit because he didn't throw a punch, with Efe Ajagba. So they probably went that route. Wherever they're going is going to be someone that's low-hanging fruit. Okay? But it shows you that a lot of these fighters are cool and they're able to negotiate with the outcome of fights. If that's the case, the bribe is definitely in play. And they should be thoroughly compensated. You know what I'm saying? I think that. Like look at Malik Scott. How much money you think Malik Scott actually took to take that dive against Wilder? Hell, we'll never know. But we know that he was offered something. Okay? And originally, I think it was, he was, oh, that's my brother. Yeah, he didn't take a shot. That was the easiest fight that he ever had. In fact, that was the easiest fight Wilder ever had, too. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of this Hat Man video and the strange circumstances of the loss Stephen Shaw had, his last loss against Mr. Goodall. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.